All right, man. I'm going to go ahead and get us kicked off. Guys, Chris
Right.
Peshek, broker associate of the Dripping Springs home team at Peshek Properties here. And we are rolling down. Let me check. I think this is the 11th day of the 12 days of Dripping Springs Christmas. And I'm here with Randy Livingston of Bucker Creek Ranch. If y'all don't know Randy, first of all, that means you don't drink beer at any of the local breweries.
Hey,
If you did, you would know Randy. He would at least look familiar to you. Maybe I shouldn't say that.
yes, that could mean something more than it does. I used to haul so many grains out of breweries that you would just see me coming and going. I'm
That's
sure
right.
that's what you meant.
That's exactly what I meant. Yes, Randy. He utilizes. Look, this is complete farm to table to brewery, back to farm, back to table. That's what he specializes in. You use those spent grains, don't you?
Oh yeah, we use spent grains and have for years, and I tell people it's the most sustainable way to raise beef. I mean, if y'all quit drinking, let me know. So
You're gonna
then
sell your
we'll
cattle.
probably have to look for a different way to feed them. But if as long as y'all are drinking beer, we're good.
That's
That's it.
see, there you go, guys. And this is what this show is all about. It's all about keeping it local and making sure that that your local breweries stay in business, so they can keep your local cattle producer in business.
Mhm.
It's one. And again, that's one of the cool things about Dripping Springs is without this community. I mean, you may not know the people that you can go over and work out deals for the grain and stuff like that. So it's a cool thing.
Yeah, it is very cool. And you know who else? Barton Springs Mill. We feed on occasion. Some
Oh,
of
with
their
James, I got you.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I forgot about James. Yeah.
it's the most local way to produce beef here in
It
Drip.
is, and especially when God doesn't provide us with much rain like this summer.
No, no. And on that note, we feed a lot of hay. None of it's from here, so eat local. My cows aren't.
That's right.
They are eating hay from other parts of the
Well,
state.
you and I were talking about it the other day that it's kind of hard for you to get hay locally if your cows don't have any grass to eat locally. So that stands to reason.
Yeah, I mean, so right now, like we are feeding a lot of hay and trying to save the rest of the ranch. The cows, they will eat everything that's there. And when you've had so little rain like we've had, and I mean, to give people an example how little rain we had from December 2021 through June 2022, we had less than 3 inches of rain. And that's where you get
Wow.
75% of your growth. So yes, there's a reason why we are feeding a lot of hay.
Well, and
But
that's the majority of our rain typically comes February through May.
right, for
Yeah.
sure.
Wow.
We actually got a rain last week, and not like anybody wants to hear about farmers talk about rain talk, but by golly, it never rains. But we got 4 inches of rain the other day, and now we only have to wait 5 more months for it to start growing again.
That's
So
right. That's right. There you go. Right
we're
on time.
better times are right around the corner.
And guys, if y'all don't know, Randy and Brooke again, we like to keep this local, Dripping Springs families, and you guys raised your kids here and all of that, so it doesn't get any more local than what you guys are doing. Now, your ranch is a little bit further out into the hill country, and I'm gonna let you talk a little bit about first what type of beef are you producing and where's it coming from, so everybody understands, kind of what this, what the trail looks like to get to where they're picking you guys up or where y'all are delivering from.
Well, okay. First, we'll start backwards. The consumer side going through the production side. So we sell here in Dripping Springs. You can actually go online at buckercreekranch.com and buy beef sticks and beef jerkies and other shelf stable products. But if you want to have beef delivered to your door, you have to contact us directly. So people contact me through the website and they go, "How do we get hold of your beef?" And I say, "Well, where are you located?" They say, "Florida." I said, "Great. First thing, move to Dripping Springs. And once you get here, we'll sell you raw beef." But if I sell raw beef to people in the country, I'll have nothing because we're tiny. We're so
Yeah.
small. We're so inconsequential. So all our raw beef is sold here in the Dripping Springs area. Driftwood, a little bit in Austin, but basically that's it. and then some of the other products we ship around the country, which are all shelf stable. So if you want something, basically you call me. People always get that question, like, how do I get a hold of you? I was like, well, text me. And they're like, really? I go, yeah, my number's on my card. Just text me and we'll talk and see what you want. Chances are I'm going to be out of ribeyes, maybe some other stuff. I tell everybody I run a ribeye Ponzi scheme. So I'm always promising ribeyes I do not have. Oh yeah, they're coming. The cat and those steers back there still grazing.
Yep.
Oh
Well, they're
yeah,
coming
coming right around the
eventually.
corner. So, but we'll put you on our list, and we'll get them to you at some point. And if you decide you don't want them, big deal. There's no fee or anything. We'll just move to the next name on the list.
Easy enough.
But if there's something that you want, or if there is like a gift basket or something like that you want to put together, be given for a boss or whatever. This time of year we get a lot of that. Let us know. We'll work with you.
And you guys produce, I mean, usually in a store, like you said, you're going to get your ribeyes and your, some T-bones and stuff, but you guys will do some a little bit of different cuts that at least I'm not familiar with. And I grew up around, beef most of my life. So talk a little bit through kind of the cuts that you do have available from time to time.
Well, everybody knows the ribeyes, the fillets, the strips, those kind of things. Well, in Wagyu cattle are a different cattle, and that they are a higher quality, a higher marbling animal. And you can make steaks that are phenomenal that you might grind on another and turn into hamburger on another animal. So like we sell a lot, chuck eye steaks, and a lot of people don't even know what those are, or sirloin bavettes, which comes off the sirloin, obviously, thus the name. What else we got? Obviously, people know tri-tips, but you don't see a lot of tri-tips in the local stores here, but you can get those from us. What else? A lot of ribs. I stopped at a local establishment in the Hill Country that's famous, and I actually bought beef ribs, smoked beef ribs. They cost me $26.99 a pound. I got 2 ribs. I spent $48. I was blown away. And that's regular old commodity beef. You can buy those things from me for like $9 a pound. And I'm like,
and go smoke your own.
These things are phenomenal. And I'm like, no wonder. I mean, I don't buy a lot of beef when I'm out and about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got a little bit of that around the house. But I was floored. I could not believe how expensive it was.
And just barbecue in general at this point has just gotten a little bit crazy. But anyway, we're not here nobody wants to hear a farmer talk about rain, and they don't want to hear a realtor talk about barbecue.
No. But on that note, we do have briskets too for those folks that want to smoke their own. Briskets are great. What else?
Are you? Let me. And I'm kind of get off on a little bit of a tangent there. So when I go into HEB, I can buy a packer brisket, and I'm buying 16, 17 pound briskets. Are your cattle that large, or are you processing them before that?
It's funny because briskets sometimes don't directly correlate to the size of the steer.
Oh.
So, but mostly no. Most of my briskets are not going to be over 15 pounds. Okay. Though I have seen them up to 25 pounds.
Holy
and that
cow.
is crazy. That is crazy. I've only seen one animal produce one that big. But generally they'll run 11 to 15. Sometimes they're smaller. I mean, I've had a very few that were in the 7 to 8 pound range, and then a few that are above 16, but those are very few, at least on my cattle.
Okay. And kind of, I'm going to go to a little bit different, because you mentioned a while ago, like a chuck eye in a normal operation, that's going to get ground into ground beef. Right. And my wife mentioned when you and I were on, we just got on and started chatting. Erica had mentioned to make sure that I remind people how amazing your ground beef is, because it really is the best burgers, that you can make. But talk a little bit. Okay, if you're not getting the from the typical ground beef area, ground sirloin, ground chuck, where's your ground beef coming from? Why is it so good?
Beef comes from I don't want to be critical of the Dripping Springs people, but y'all don't like a lot of roast. Okay. So we grind some roast. We have some trim on the animal that gets ground into it. We don't grind. My saying is the hooter pooters and snooters. We don't grind that. We get whole meats, the trim,
Yeah.
whatnot. That's what goes into the ground, and things like rounds
Yep.
and things like roast that y'all don't want here. I mean,
And,
people in Dripping Springs want to eat things they can, and I'm like this too because I'm a dripper myself. But we are busy and we like things we can grill, and we like to be able to be pretty quick.
put a
And you
knife
can make, oh man, you can make a fabulous steak. Shoot, I don't know, 15 minutes.
I was about to say it
As
doesn't
long as
take
you
long.
once you defrost it, I mean, once it's thawed out, it's seriously you can do it in 15 minutes and eat. And I know we're all busy enough that that sounds appealing sometimes.
It does, yes, it does, and that's exactly where I was going with that. So people understand that the reason the ground beef is so good. One of the reasons is because you're using trimmings. Not every last bit of that tenderloin is going to make a tenderloin steak. Not every last bit of that ribeye is going to make a rib roll. That stuff with that high marbling and all is what goes into that hamburger meat, and that's why it's so damn good.
No, that's exactly right.
And a lot of people don't know that. And I talk about making hamburgers, but boy, get you a couple pounds of that and make some meatloaf. How about that?
Dude, meatloaf, Wagyu meatloaf. I mean, I've eaten a bunch of it. I still find myself walking past it and picking at it. When they're
Yep.
cooking, I'm over there. I'm like, okay, this is obviously good because I'm still picking at it. And I've had a few pounds.
I can't. Yeah, it doesn't last long. It does not last long for me. I will get after that. So in terms of location, roughly where are the cattle coming from? Where is your ranch?
So our cattle currently, and I do say currently because in the spring we hope to be expanding down a
Oh,
bit
cool.
to South Texas, where they actually had some rain. So if that is
Until you
true,
put
we
cattle
are
there.
come April, we're hoping to move our cattle down to South Texas and rest the ranch, and you just have to after this
Yeah.
time period. It's having native grasses, and we don't just ranch for cattle. We have deer, we have dove, we have turkeys, we have all sorts of critters that use everything from porcupines to raccoons to possums. So there's a whole bunch of things that depend on that ranch. So and this year, oddly enough, we even saw quail, which is a bit of a rarity. That's
Wow.
amazing considering we had so little rain. So we're pulling the cattle, moving them to South Texas. But currently, right now, they're here in Dripping, and they're here outside of Mason.
Outside of Mason as well, and that's something else that I want to make sure to point out to people. Like this is when Randy said that they're a smaller operation. They large operations, large beef operations. They're not worried about the rain or resting land or worrying about other animals that use it. I mean, you got these grow operations and these feedlots, and there's thousands of head of cattle, and they're just bringing in all the food they need, and they're not worried about the dirt. And that's kind of the difference, and that's what people are wanting, a little bit more of that slow food, which is what you guys are doing.
Yes, and don't get me wrong, there are a lot of big ranches out there that are practicing
Yeah.
a lot of good practices, and that are in a much, the agriculture is so hard, especially in the cow business, to pigeonhole every operation
Yeah.
because they things change. I mean, my year this year is different than last year, and these operations. I mean, there's guys that have no cows on they're in
Yeah.
the cattle business but own no cows, and there's guys that have cows that never fed out a calf, and there's just a multitude of different operations, and they all have a different place in the system. Our place in the system is we are trying to make the highest quality beef direct to your door that you just can't get anywhere else. Because I know it's not cheap. Our costs are high. We don't have any economies of scale that
Yeah.
allow us to drop the price at all. And as I told a good friend of mine, this is not the year to be looking for bargains. I mean, because we're feeding hay and it's coming out of West Texas or Mississippi, and that all comes with a real price tag. And I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong. And nobody put me a gun to my head and said I had to be a
Yeah.
rancher. But it's a year. It's been an interesting year to be sure.
Let's go back kind of to the end piece of that. You mentioned delivering to your door, and that's another thing that you're going to find. Like you said, y'all aren't going to be on the shelf in HEB. When somebody orders from you guys, your cuts of meat are cryovac individually, and y'all are delivering that stuff. So talk through that a little bit for us.
So, certainly. So we will generally people contact me either through text or through the website, just through the email. And once you get in my phone, I'll actually answer it. But I'm one of those old curmudgeons that until you're in my phone, I don't pick it up. Once you're in your phone, we're good. But I don't want you trying to solicit me for some car warranty. I don't really want a car warranty. I'm pretty sure you don't want mine anyway. We got lots of miles on them. But anyway, so you let me know what you want. I'll tell you what we have. Tell you when I think we'll have it. It's getting a little easier to process. Even we went through that time period during COVID when it was super hard. Well, it's gotten a little easier, but still not super easy to get them processed. So it may be a bit of a wait. It just depends on what you want. And we sell out all the time. In fact, we'll sell out this year for sure. I mean, for Christmas, because we have a lot of support here in Dripping. I really appreciate the folks. That's why we don't sell abroad, because I want to take care of these folks first. And we can put together packages if you want, like strips and some ground beef and something like our awesome jerky. Can you see that?
It is.
Look
It is. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We can see it.
Look
It's
at
good.
props now. We are in the first year. I'm not sure I had props. Next year, I bet you I have cows behind me.
Yeah, I was about to say,
I'll
you'll
be
have this out in
walking.
the pasture. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Can you see? I got a steer.
Yeah, I see. I see it.
I actually bought that guy. That was not ours.
No,
But
and
anyway.
I was just going to say, guys, you didn't want to eat that steer.
No. He actually had a name, and his name was Express Man, but I never knew it. I just bought them out. I just thought it looked cool.
Yeah, it does look pretty good. It does look good.
But and I look at this thing over my head right now, like, oh no, I got some sort of crown working.
Well, you're the king of Dripping Springs beef. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, that's a huge that's a huge competition. Every year, it's just no. But anyway, so we can put packages together. I know a lot of people there's a lot of people who didn't grow up in Dripping, and they go home for where they come from. And a lot of them like to take stuff back with them that's truly Texan, truly local. So we have those products. It really cracks me up that now that I did not see this coming. It's one of those funny little things that kind of make life better. Is people tell us we have become part of their Christmas celebrations, and I'm like, okay, I did not really see that coming.
That's awesome.
Cool. So we got a lot of. They'll put our sticks and whatnot in their stuff. They're like, we've had 3 years. We put your sticks in our stockings, and I'm like, oh wow, we're a ritual now.
Yeah, awesome. That's right. That's right. And just so everybody knows, Randy, y'all have got, like, you can find your jerky and your beef sticks around Dripping Springs at several places. I don't want to name them all because I'll forget, but I know that I've seen them around town for sure.
Sure. Look at the breweries. Look at your local feed stores.
Yes.
How about that? And on the west side of Dripping. And so, yes, we're around in a number of stores. And thank those folks for me if y'all go in there.
I'll see Monica here in about 30 minutes, so I'll make sure.
Yes, I think you understood where I was going.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right. Well, hey, is there anything else that I'm missing? Anything else you want to kind of end up with here?
No, just tell them to. If anybody wants anything, go to BuckerCreeeeeeranch.com. I'm sure there's an email link there. Email me. It'll be me. Tell me what you're looking for. I'll probably give you my phone number there, and we can just talk and figure out what we can do for you.
And that's exactly why I've got Randy on here. Again, it doesn't get any more local than this, and this is the way I like to do it. And making sure that you guys know that you've got options other than going to your grocery stores and stuff like that to get your meat and stuff, and take advantage of it, because not everybody has this. I mean, who in the world really has an opportunity to go out and get nice wagyu local beef and and have it delivered to their door. That doesn't exist everywhere. So people take advantage of this with folks like Randy, the local farmers, the local ranchers, and all the other local businesses that we've got on here. So Randy, man, I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, sir.
And we will see you guys tomorrow for day 12 out of, I think, 17 or 18. We got a bunch of these videos coming. So y'all keep staying tuned. Make sure you are sharing these out for people. I know Randy's not going to ship his beef a long way, but you know what? Somebody could come here and potentially, meet him up at one of the local breweries and maybe get some. Go ahead. You were going to ask something.
No, we'll be at 12 Fox tomorrow if you want to come talk to me.
Oh, gotcha. Y'all are going to be a part of the Christmas, Christmas celebration over there.
Yeah, we will not be there on Sunday. We're actually working calves and cattle on Sunday, but we will be there tomorrow.
All right, there you go, guys. You know where to find it. All right, Randy, again, thank you very much, guys. We will see y'all tomorrow for the rest of the 12 days of Dripping Springs Christmas. Y'all have a great one.